So yesterday I put up a video on an advanced drain down technique that I've kind of not developed myself, but thought of anyway. So I put it up there for you. And let's say it's caused a bit of confusion. Now the problem I got is that I can see it in my head and I know exactly how to do it, but trying to get it over to you guys obviously has become a bit of an issue. I thought, oh, it's obvious, everyone knows what I mean. But then I explained it to my wife, Sarah, and she just looked at me blankly, which she often does, to be fair. But yeah, this was a bit like, well, what do you mean? So I thought, hang on a minute, I don't think I've explained this correctly. So I've been all day trying to work out how to record it and how to get the issue idea across, because it's very simple. It's just hard to explain. So in a minute, you'll see some advanced 3D generated graphics that I've produced to hopefully show you what I mean. Now, I have actually discovered, I've been in a Swift today, and I've worked out that actually you have to do this. This isn't an option because there's no way to drain down the hot water side of the water system. The cold water side is fine because it will run back down through and out the drain down valve. That's not a problem at all. But as I'll explain in a minute with the diagrams, there's no way to get the water system to drain down on the hot side because it can't go back up through the tank and out through the drain down valve. Now, I often wondered why Coachman in particular put two drain down valves in, and it's for this very reason. So then I thought, well, actually there's probably you can either do this system that I'm going to show you in a minute, or there's a fix that you can actually put another drain down valve in your hot water pipe side of it to actually be able to drain down the hot water side without having to do all this. So I don't know why I haven't thought of this before. It's bizarre. Anyway, looking at it now, it's kind of like, well, it's clear as day. There's no way to drain down the hot side of the water system. It stays in the pump, in the tank, pipes. So that's probably why we see quite a few of the Swift Vector taps breaking for this very reason. So that kind of solves that little mystery, I think, as to why we see lots of the Swift Vector taps. There might be different systems in other caravans. I'm going to show you in a minute how to do the sprite that I've got here. If you have a whale water heater, then you'll know how to drain your system down. This is for the Truma. If you've got an Ultra Store, or you've got the combi boiler here, or it's the same with the Aldi as well. They always use the same yellow switch, but obviously with the whale, it's a big yellow knob that you've got to turn, but the principle is exactly the same. So I think I'll show you the diagrams now. This all sounds extremely complicated, but once you get the hang of it and once you kind of understand it, it's dead simple. Then I think I'll probably do another video on how to fit a second drain down valve so that you can drain down your hot water pipes and your taps without having to do this, or like I said, you can just do this. So let's have a look at my my highly computerized 3D graphics that I'm going to show you now. Right, I fired up the quantum computer and produced these highly technical graphics. Now, as you can see, this is the system in normal use. So we have the aqua roll there, we've got the pickup pipe going into the side of the caravan through the caravan inlet, and then down into the pipes. The blue goes off to the cold taps, and then the hot water is in the hot water tank, and then obviously the red indicates the hot water going out to the taps as well. So if you imagine the cold looping around going into the same tap, obviously it's a different side of the system, but that's what we're looking at here. Okay, so that's what it looks like in normal use. So this is what the system looks like when it's been drained down. You can see the blue arrow there indicating the path of the water going out through the drain down valve. The tank, the hot water tank, has been able to empty because it's next to that and it can gravity feed. Same with the cold taps. If you leave the cold taps in the open in the central position, then the air can get back down through, and again, because it's gravity fed, the cold taps will allow the air to pass through the pipes, and then the water can drain down through the drain down valve. Now, as we can clearly see here, the hot water can't come out because you've got the top of the water tank is where the hot water goes out. So the hot water, any water that's in those pipes, cannot go back up through the pipe into the top of the tank, down through the tank, and then out through the drain down valve. It just physically can't do it. It's going to sit in that loop like the toilet does, because you've got a loop in it where the U-bend is, so it's going to hold water. So even if you open up all the hot taps and leave them in the central position, that loop going down through cannot get back up over the upward bit of the water tank and then through the water tank and back down to the drain down valve, if you see what I mean. It can't come out. And this is why we do the advanced drain down technique. We use that air to push through and then push the water out of the taps through the open spout. And this is how you do it. Now, I think this is where the most of the confusion is, because you're using water to drain down the system, which sounds a bit odd, but this is where it gets hard for me to explain it. You're filling the tank up. You've got the aqua roll there full of water, and then you put the pump going again, and then you pump in the water through. Now, it will go up to the cold taps. That's not a problem, because again, as I said, when we finish this actual advanced drain down system, you can open the cold taps up and it will drain back out again. That's not a problem. We're just trying to get the hot out of here. So as you can see, the water goes into the tank, and then because the tank's mostly full of air, it pushes the air, which is the yellow bit here, through the hot pipe, down through the pipes and up through the taps. So you do the furthest one first, which I'll show you in a minute how to actually do that, and then you do the hot tap in the kitchen, which is the shorter one there on my fancy diagram. So you're using the air that's in the tank to go out through the outlet of the tank, through the pipes, and push the water out through the taps, and you'll see the result of that in a minute. So the key to this is the fact that there is less volume of water in the pipes than there is volume of air in the hot water tank. So you don't get to the point where you're filling the hot tap system up again with water. So as you can see here, the water doesn't reach the outlet valve of the hot water tank before all the water and air has gone out of the hot water pipes. That's the good bit about this, is that the volume of air in the hot water tank is more than adequate to push all the remaining water out of the hot pipes out through the taps. So then once you've done that and you've stopped the pump, you then have got no water in the hot pipes, because we've already got rid of that. You can then drain down the water in the normal way, because it will drain out of the hot water tank through the drain down valve, and then obviously the cold will drain down because it's gravity fed in the same way as a normal drain down would be. So hopefully that's kind of given you an idea of how it works. We will now show you how it works in action, and I'll start with the standard drain down so you can get the water actually out of the tank to be able to do the advanced drain down technique. So hopefully that has answered a few of the questions that I was getting and cleared up how to actually do this. You're not using a dry aqua roll. You're not using, you're not spinning the pump dry, because it won't. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. You can't push air through a submersible pump. It only works when you've got water in it. That's why when you get an airlock in it, it won't work, and you've got to give it a shake. You technically can with the onboard pumps, but it still won't work in this case. Not as efficiently as this. So this is a submersible one. You can put a submersible pipe in here. It also works just as well with an onboard pump as well. So let's have a look at how you actually do it. Before we carry out the advanced drain down technique, we first have to do the standard drain down. This removes all the water from the water heater. To do this, we need to flip up the yellow drain down valve, open up the kitchen tap and leave in the central position, open up the washroom tap and leave in the central position, and finally open up the shower tap and leave in the central position. And we must remember to remove the hose to allow any water to drain down from that as well. Then we need to wait for the water heater to drain down. Now this can take some time, so it's a good time to go and have a cup of tea. So once the water heater is drained down, we then flip the yellow lever back down to shut the water heater drain down valve off. We then shut the shower tap and shut the kitchen tap as well. We then need to ensure that you have a full aqua roll outside and your pickup pipe or submersible pump is submersed into the water. We then choose the washroom tap because it's the furthest one away and put it to the hot position. Then turn the water pump switch on. This then starts to pump water into the hot tank, and using the air that's in the hot tank pushes out the water through the pipes and out of the tap like this. Now it's quite surprising how much water comes out of that tap. Once all the water has come out and you can hear air, turn the pump switch off again. Then shut the washroom tap, go to the kitchen tap and again put it to the hot position, and then turn the pump switch back on again. Now, because most of the water has gone out through the washroom tap, there won't be much water left in this one, but there'll still be enough for it to cause a problem. And once the water has stopped flowing, you can hear air, again turn the pump switch back off. Then, to remove any water that was in the hot tank, open the drain down valve again and leave it in the open position. Then return to the kitchen tap and put it in the central position, and do the same with the washroom tap and the shower tap. So the system is all open. The drain down valve is in the up position, the kitchen tap is in the open and central position, and so is the washroom and the shower. Also, the shower hose has been left off. So there we have it. We've done a normal drain down, which gets rid of a lot of the water. We've then done the advanced drain down, which gets rid of the water out of the hot water taps and the pipes independently as well. And once you leave it all in that open state, then the hot water pipes and the taps are free anyway. And then when you open it back up, the cold water will run back down and out the drain down valve. And if you leave it all open, then the air can get round it, and you shouldn't have any more problems. Now, with there's going to be a small amount of water left in there, because there always is. But as long as when it freezes, it has room to expand, then it's not going to do any damage. The only issue is when the water can't expand and it has to go out somewhere, normally through the tap, and then that's when it starts to crack the taps and things. So if you've got everything open, sometimes I go into caravans and we see icicles coming off the tap itself. But as long as the water can expand, it's not going to do any damage, so that's okay. So hopefully that's cleared it all up. Obviously put in the comments if it hasn't, but it should have done, hopefully. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Share this actually, because I think that this is an issue with certainly with the Swift caravans that haven't, well, any caravan that hasn't got a secondary drain down valve. Obviously a lot of the coachmen have. But with anything without a secondary drain down valve, and if it's got a non-return valve in like this has, and also where the water can't go back down through the tank and out the drain down valve, which it just can't do because of the loops in all all the pipe work and everything. So I think this is important to share this, and if you're on forums and things, if you can pop it on there, then get people having a look at it, because I think this is going to save a lot of people that heartache of when they get to spring and then fire everything up again and then everything's cracked and pouring water out everywhere. It doesn't do them any good because I sell lots of taps, but yeah, I'd rather your caravan was safe and secure without having to replace all taps, because it can be an absolute nightmare, especially the vector taps. To replace those are a bit of a pain. Well, all of them are actually. So like, subscribe, and then check out the next videos. I don't know what I'm doing actually at the moment, but anyway, yeah, you'll certainly see some more video content from me anyway. And don't forget to look at My Ideal Caravan if you want to sign up to that. There's lots more information on there that isn't on the YouTube channel. There's direct access to me if you want to ask me any questions, whether it's pricing caravans, any questions on buying caravans new. There's lots of technical details on there as well, and fault diagrams. We've got the new AI on there, which you can ask a question on anything that's in that course. And there's lots of other things on there, Truma combo codes, and lots of other information there. So you go to the AI, type in "my water pump won't work. What's the difference between water ingress and damp?" and it'll all come up. So that's quite a good feature, I think. Also, listen to Caravan Radio. You'll be seeing me or hearing me on there over the next few weeks, and we'll see where that goes. That'll be interesting. So thank you very much. See you on the next video.